All right, you guys, we are still working on solving irrational equations. And I know for some of you, you're probably like, not again, but it's honestly, this is a topic that is pretty involved, and you've got to take lots of skills from Math 1 and Math 2. All right, so same thing we did yesterday. We're going to multiply by the common denominator, and the common denominator for this problem is x minus 10. So I have to multiply each one by x minus 10. All right, now I am going to skip that step now. I mean, this is 4 days later of making videos. You should understand that I'm going to multiply x minus 10 by x, by this x plus 7 fraction, and then by this 5 over x minus 10 fraction. All right, so x minus 10 times x. There's no denominator, so there's nothing to cancel. Now look how I'm going to write it. X, parentheses, x minus 10. Bring down the minus sign. All right, the x minus 10 would cancel. So I'm left with x plus 7. Notice I brought it down in parentheses, okay? Because I have to keep this together as one term, and this minus sign affects the whole term. Equals, this x minus 10 would cancel, and I bring down the 5. Okay? So if you're not sure what I did, I would honestly rewatch that step really quickly and really pay attention to what I was doing there. All right, I'm going to distribute. We have to distribute a -1. So I get x squared minus 10x minus x minus 7 equals 5. Okay, now right here, because that x squared has now become a part of the equation, this is now a quadratic equation, which means I can solve this with various methods. I can use factoring to solve and find the roots, or I can use the quadratic formula. Okay? All right, so that means I need to combine like terms, and it needs to equal 0. So x squared minus 11x minus 7 equals 5. And now I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I have x squared minus 11x minus 12 equals 0. So it has to equal 0, and that would set you up for the quadratic formula or factoring. Okay. I am not going to tell you which way to do it. I would say for some of you, if factoring is always a struggle, okay, just use quadratic formula. Okay, just plug it into the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, and you'll get your answers. Okay, but I enjoy factoring, okay, and I find it to be a lot faster. Okay, so -12, -11. So that means I'm going to use -12 and 1. Okay, because when I multiply that, I get -12. When I add those, I get -11. So that means I get x minus 12, parentheses, x plus 1 equals 0. All right, and then to get my answers, okay, remember you can just take the opposites, or you just do x minus 12 equals 0. You solve that equation. So if you add 12, you get x equals 12. Same thing here. If I take x plus 1 equals 0, subtract 1, so I get x equals -1. Okay? All right, now we have two solutions. Okay? If I were to plug 12 back into here, especially this denominator, 12 minus 10 is 2. That's all right. So that solution is good. If I plug -1 here, -1 minus 10 was -11. That solution is good as well. Okay, so when you're in Delta Math, okay, you need to identify your final answer. You need to type curly brackets, okay, and it'll be 12, comma, -1. Okay, you're going to have to type it, and you're going to have to use curly brackets, because if you use parentheses, you are saying that your final answer is a point on the XY axis, and that's not the case here. This is where, okay, remember, this is where our picture crosses the x-axis. This parabola back up here, this x squared right here, x squared minus 11x minus 12, this is where it crosses the x-axis, and it crosses it in two places. Okay? All right, I will come back with another example, and good luck on your assignment.